Good evening, everyone. We're now live and getting ready to start the recording. So we're going to be recording the session. I'm Steve Canota. I'm here with Yelena Batenskaya. She's going to do all the talking because she knows how this thing works. And we're going to talk about phase two, so to speak, of Cognos analytics. And this will be the phase where you get to learn how to do dashboards and more about telling the story, unquote, which we emphasize throughout the program. I want to remind people that one of the key things that a data scientist does today is tell the story. He or she is not just sitting in a dark room calculating things because the software takes care of all the calculations. What he or she has to be able to do is articulate very clearly what was done, why it was done, how it was done, what it means, how to interpret it in terms that the decision makers understand. And that requires some skill in storytelling. And you'll see articles about that all over the web. I can send anybody articles if they want to see more, but you'll have the opportunity to do more of that throughout the program. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Yelena. Remind you that this will be recorded and we will make the link available. And I want to encourage people that you may have to look at the video more than once. There's a lot of stuff in each one of the videos, as you found out with the first one. And so we make the recording to accommodate those who aren't here tonight, but we also make it so that people who want to view it more than once and see what they may have missed can do so. So it's a very valuable resource. Okay, Elena, go ahead and go with the presentation. Thanks.
So here is an agenda for the day. We have a lot to cover, huh? So, as you may remember, last time we worked at looking into the dataset property, we looked at the calculations, and we looked at the explorations, right? Well, the purpose of the exploration was to get the insight from data. However, that's not the way you present, right? That's basically not how you're gonna present the information to the non-technical user. You want to present the information in a nice and interactive way. So that's when you would use a dashboard. And then you can change the appearances, use different color codes, and you can change fonts. You may toggle between view mode and edit mode. So basically, while you are previewing the dashboard, so that you don't accidentally make any changes, right? So you got view mode, edit mode, and then you might still add the calculations. You might still add the navigation paths, and you've got the built-in assistant that you can use to build your visualizations, right? A lot of functionalities are the same, plus you have, I'll show you what you could do. There are a bunch of properties that weren't available before today, right? So that's what you're gonna do to create. There are multiple ways to create dashboard, but what you will do is you're gonna go to the My Content, right? And you're going to take that data set, right? When you click on the ellipsis, you see this actions menu, and you're going to select create dashboard. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that with you as well. So let me go back to my browser. Okay, here it is, right? So remember, this is a recent section. This is what I had recently opened, right? So we've got my content. So in my content, I have my work, right? See this? So this is the data set that I used last time. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do create dashboard right now, right? So here it is. This is a dashboard. You have two types, two templates. One of them is a tab, and another one is an infographic. The main difference is that tab, you can have multiple tabs. You can apply the filter to all tab or to single tab, right? Infographic is basically a single long page, not split into tabs, right? So I'm gonna select the tab. Now here, what you see, that's basically the predefined templates. So if I choose this guy right here, I'm gonna have 2 by 2, right? And in each slot, I can put a widget, which could be visualization, or it could be text, or it could be a shape, right? This one is a free form. So the main difference is that all of these guys would resize based on a screen resolution. This one would not. So that's one difference, right? So what I did was I spelled it out for you. If you look at it, here are the differences between tabs and infographics, right? And the similarities. And here I just put the differences. right? So that way you're aware what is free form and what is out of the box templates. Okay, so now if you go if we go back, right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to select this one, my favorite. I'm going to click OK. One thing to keep in mind is that the more visualizations you have on a single tab, the longer it will take to open, right? Sometimes it could take a long time, depending on the internet connection speed, etc. So now, does it look familiar? Does this look familiar? So this is somewhat familiar to what you saw last time, right? Here are the variables in my data set, etc. But what you notice that last time we created the navigation path, last time we added some calculations, but they don't appear in here. Well, the reason is because we used the data set, right? And when we created the calculations last time, we defined them where? In the exploration, right, file. Whatever we defined in the exploration workbook itself, it will not be available for us when we create new file, when we create a new dashboard, right? We have to create the calculations all over if we have to use them. This is because I'm using the data set as a data source here. I'm not using data modular. I'm using the data set in this case, right? So what can you do with the dashboard? Right now, well, I'm on the tab 1. I can add the visualizations. How do you add the visualizations? There are multiple ways. Like, for example, what I could do is simply do the drag and drop, right? So if I drag and drop, this is a categorical variable in this case. So this is going to give me the list of, this is going to give me a nice map, right? So I've got 4 states. My data comes from, well, several states, 4 or 5 states. Okay, now what I could do is I could go back. Do you remember last time? Oh, well, I did not pin anything, right? I did not pin. Pin is basically a bookmark. So you can, sometimes you can add the visualizations to your set of, how do you call it? You may call it favorites, right? And then you can reuse those visualizations in other dashboards, in other stories or dashboards, right? Another way you can do to add visualizations is this. Do you remember this little friend right here? This is a little assistant, right? So when I do, well, I usually don't remember the commands. I just type show data, and then I just click on what I want to see, right? And here, it just bunch of variables, right? I can go ahead and can just click on total claim amount, and now I can look at the what influences, right? And I can just pick anything and drag and drop. So here is my visualization. I'm going to do this. Look, I picked it up and I'm going to drag and drop, right? But as I do this, take a look at this. You want to put your cursor on top of this arrow. When you do it, then the visualization will resize to the same size as this little slot here. See this? I don't need to resize it manually, right? So here is my visualization. Now, well, there is something in here that I don't like, right? Look at this, total claim amount. I don't want it to be a sum. I want it to be an average. Huh? Didn't I send it last time? Didn't I change it last time? Yes, I did. I changed it last time. The problem is when I did make the change, I changed it in the exploration variable because that change is not available here, right? Like if you may or may not remember, like last time in my content, I created couple explorations, right? This is an exploration from last time. And if I go back to my exploration from last time, see this, I see something in here, navigation path, and this is not available in my, this is not available in my dashboard. That's because I'm using the data set in here, right? And also notice that this is what I did. There was a total claim amount and I changed the aggregation type to average, right? So it's because I keep on using the data set, I would have to do it everywhere, in every single dashboard, right? I would have to change this. I would have to change it everywhere, okay? because what I changed in the exploration is not visible. So we have to go back here. So that's one option, right? This is what you'll probably have to do for your assignment 4, because I did not show you how to use data modules last time. Okay, now, well, what you will do is in here, see this? Look, when you click on this, when you click on this little folder, that opens the data set structure, right? So here you have a bunch of fields. And what you will do, you want to change the total claim amount. You want to change this to average. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to click here, and then I want to select the properties. And from the properties, I'm going to go to the aggregation, and I'm going to do the average. Because it does not make sense to add all claims, right? We want to look at the average claim amount. And since here is this, here I have the visualization by state, right? So this is the average by claim type. So now what I could do is, let me do, so this is a claim reason, right? Let me do this, drag and drop, claim reason. Well, I'm doing it for a reason. I do drag and drop claim reason for a reason, and you'll see why. Okay, now, so I have it like this, and now what I'm going to do is, I also want to do, let's say, okay, I can just physically add a new visualization from the visualizations library. So how do you do this? You click here, visualizations, right? And I can add any visualization. Like, for instance, let's do the pie chart. To see this, I selected the pie chart. Now what I need to do is, I'm going to define what my segments are, right? Well, probably here, well, pie chart, basically, you would use it if you want to see the portion of the whole. It might not be a good visualization type for this case, because I don't have anything, like I don't have an ID, right? The way I have my data right now, I don't have a unique identifier where I could just count the number of people per state, perhaps, right? So let's change visualization. I changed my mind. I don't want the pie chart anymore. Well, this is what I could do. I could do this. See this? All visualizations, and I can always change it. If I don't like the visualization, I can always do this, okay? So now I'm gonna pick the column, and I'm gonna do the lanes. I'm gonna do total claim amount, right? This is gonna be the bar length, and the bar is gonna be the what is it, claim reason, right? Okay, let's see. Well, okay, now remember, I picked the claim reason for a reason, and let me show you what the reason is. So here, I've got 4 visualizations on the first tab. Notice what's gonna be here. I selected collision. What is it gonna do? It's going to update all visualizations on this tab and select collision, right? So if I had something on a map, if I was showing the data automatically gets filtered to show only collision claim reason. So when I select something in one, it automatically makes the same selections in the others, right? Well, let's see why is it happening. There is something called the group, right? Widget connections. So all of these widgets are connected here. See this? I clicked on this to see the connection. What I could do is, while this thing is clicked, I can click here and I can, well, see this? Well, when I clicked on this, do you see this? I can break the links, right? So I can break a link for any of this. Like, for example, see this one. I want to break the link. So what's going to happen is it put this in a separate group, right? So this is a group 2. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to unclick this and look at this, look at the difference. Right now, I selected hail, but my selection is not updated on the other visualizations, right? It's not. And it's not updated because I disconnected it, right? I clicked here and I disconnected it. It's a second group. Now what I could do, I could go in here, this one, and I can disconnect it, or I can add it to the connection too. See this? Add to existing connection, and then I'm gonna do 2. come on. Yeah, so this is now 2. I've got 2 groups, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unclick it. And now when I change the collision here, it's going to update to collision, but only here, right? It's not gonna update this chart for me because this belongs to a different group. Similarly, if I select this here, it's not gonna select the same thing in these 2 visualizations because I put them in a separate group. I disconnected, right? I broke the link. Okay. Well, what you could do here is that perhaps if you had a year, you could put a year, right? That's how you filter the whole group by a year. Then you could choose the claim reason within a year, and it would update everything else accordingly, right? So let's do this. Let's oops. Now, what is this? Tell me that. Did you have this capability to change any of the colors last time? No, right? Now what I did, I select the visualizations and see this. Well, I can use this toolbar here. I can change my visualization type. This is right here. Well, I can pin this. Well, basically, pin allows you to reuse visualizations, but there is a little how to say, downside perhaps. When you pin the visualization in here in your dashboard, right? You added 2 pins. Then when you try to reuse the visualization in the exploration, there is a chance that you might lose properties because in here, see this over here, I can change properties of my visualization, right? But there are no properties in the exploration. So that's possible. Well, if you do that, I just don't want you to be, I don't want it to hit you by unknown surprise. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes when you copy and paste and when you use exploration, when you use visualization, you might lose some properties. It's possible, okay? Now, well, but I like the whole idea of this stuff. See this, you can customize element color. You can change the colors. You can change, you can also change the whole. You can add the border, you can do the background, well, etc. This is something for you to explore at your spare time, perhaps. You can change different appearances, different layouts, right, etc., etc. The border color, but you can make it look nice, right? That's the main point. Now, suppose this is a visualization that I want to reuse in the future. I'm just going to do this and I'm going to just pin it, right? I pin this. Oh, no, I did not. I have to select the visualization first. And then in this toolbar, I have to click on pin. There we go. Now it's saying that it's processing pins, okay? Yes, it did it. It saved it. Now what I'm going to do, so this is the first tab, right? You want to make sure that your tab names are descriptive. Well, I'm going to rename it to something, but let me rename it. This is intentional. This is intentional. I will tell you why I'm naming it as thin, but I'm doing it intentional for the demonstration purposes. You'll see it later, okay? And this is my first tab. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my second tab. This is the second tab. And when I add the second tab, it does not have to be the same template, but I'm just going to choose the same, right? So now what I could do, I mentioned earlier that I can reuse the pin visualization. So I'm going to click on the pin over here, and I'm just going to do drag and drop. Oh, I didn't want to change zoom. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to do drag and drop. Here it is. Well, I dropped it here, but I can always move this where I want, right? I can always move it if I wanted to. So now I will close this out, right? And notice that when I did the copy paste here, it also copied the properties. But if I copy paste it into the exploration, I might lose the color properties, right? And also another challenge I would have is that all of these calculations that I add here is I won't be available anywhere else, right? Here, this one is also, this is a data preview. Well, notice that you cannot preview the data, like you cannot modify the data directly, right? In order to preview it, you have to actually look at the visualization here, right? You have to look at this data tray. You have to open the data tray to preview the data, but this is not editable, right? Well, the data itself, there is no way to edit the data set directly. That's what I mean. What else you could do here is that you could add text, right? Oops, I didn't want to do the zoom. Sometimes it's gonna happen to you too, because, okay, so now I have to go back to the file where I was. I'm not going to use my browser back button because there is a danger zone of losing stuff. But what I'll do is this, I'm just gonna do this, drag and drop my text, and I'm gonna just type something here. I can just type something like, I love data instead. Right. Notice that, well, what you have here, well, this is a little toolbar that you could use to change the properties of the text. And again, you can reposition it, right? But here you can change the properties such as indentation, bold, italic, and the color, right, etc. Alternatively, you can also do this one. When you click here, oops, no, that's not share, not this. Let me see. So when you click here, there's also, oh, this is a full, this will take you to the full screen. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, to change the properties, you would have to use the toolbar. But in order to change, if you select the visualization, okay, and you have to click on this is called the focus mode, right? Well, this one, what I'm doing now, this is a visualization in the focus mode. You can click here and you can change what you use for the x-axis, what you use for the y-axis, right? It does not matter that you added pin visualization. You may still make updates here, right? You may still apply filters, etc., right? Remember, asterisk stands for the, if you see a little asterisk, it means it's a required field, okay? Oh, there we go. This is a property. Watch this one. Basically, I have to select the visualizations that I'm interested in, and then I click here, and that will open up the properties. And the same thing should be available for this, for the text. Well, I was clicking on the wrong button. I had to click on this thing here. I select this and click here. Now this is another way I can change the appearance of my text. What else you could do is you could add, first of all, you cannot add the picture directly. You would have to add a link, right? If I was going to add a picture, I would probably add a link. But see this here? Here you've got the text, you have the picture, you have the shapes, right? Well, sometimes you would want to add shapes, right? Okay, so this is a shape, it's from the shapes library, but you cannot just add a picture from the web. You would have to add the URL, right? You would have to use this one right here. You would have to use this, drag and drop. Oops, it keeps on doing on me. I don't want to change the zoom. Okay, well, if you see this here, you can just drag and drop, right? And then enter the URL. Right? You drag and drop. This is an image, but this is not an actual image. Over here, you would have to put a web address of an image that you want to show. Okay, it's not. Well, we are not doing copy paste the actual picture. We're gonna put an what do you call it, the URL, right, of an image. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is I have to show you how the filters work. So let's delete this one for now. There are two types of filters that you can apply. Well, there are actually more because you saw me filtering, you saw me doing some filtering in here, right? You saw me, I was selecting hail and it was doing it, right? Now, But what if I have two groups here, right? I have two groups, but I still want to be able to apply a single filter, right? I want to filter all my data on this tab. See, I've got two options. I can filter this tab only, and let's say I want to do this. Let's do state code, and I'm going to drag this here. So it's going to be this tab only, right? And I'm going to select the state code, this, right? I'm going to click on OK. Well, see this? I only see the state that I selected, right? On the other hand, if I go in here and if I put the same visualization, right? I put the same visualization, the filter that I just added is not applicable here. I see all my states. Didn't I just add the filter? Well, I did not. And I did not because I added the filter only to this tab. I did not add my filter to all tabs, right? So right now, I only filtered the data. I only filtered visualizations on the first tab. So what I have to do is this. I would have to first delete this. Then I would have to add this guy right here to all tabs. And then I'm gonna go select this one. Okay, right? Now what I'm going to do is, if I go back to here, do you see this? Right now, the filter was applied to all tabs, right? Then if I want to remove the data, I'm sorry, remove the filter, I'm just gonna go delete filter. Okay, now let's do this. I'm going to rename this. I put name scene2. Scene2, okay? I'm doing it for a good reason. Also, you have to always save it, right? So let's do this, let's save it. Remember that you have to save this into, right now, you're saving everything in your personal folder, right? So here it is. This is your my content folder or any subfolders that you created in the my content. And I'm going to call it claims and weather dashboard, okay? So right now, what I did was I saved the dashboard, right? I saved it, where did I save it? It's in my, well, it's in my content, right? I cannot save it, at least you cannot save it anywhere else at the moment, right? So we have here scene1, scene2, right? I can keep on adding, but I just added 2 just for the demo purposes, and I saved my dashboard, right? So what here your dashboards can be in 2 modes. Well, like if I click here, now I'm in a view mode. It means that I cannot add, delete visualizations. I cannot modify the property. But this is mainly just to interactive mode. So if I click on Hail here, this will still do it. See? So that's maybe another difference between explicitly applying the filter, because when I added the filter to the tab, I could not modify the values of that filter when my dashboard is in the view mode, right? So if I was going to, let's return, see this, if I return here, if I add a filter over here, right, that filter won't be visible when my dashboard is in the view mode, right? So I cannot change the value while I'm previewing the dashboard, okay? I could not add the claim reason filter perhaps and keep on changing values. Instead, I'm gonna do that here, see? I'm doing it here. Sometimes, well, since when you drag and drop the categorical field once, it gives you the list of values, right? The list of unique values. But you can also use it for the purpose of sort of like filtering out data on the fly. See this? It filtered my all results to the selected claim reason. But the problem is that, look, I broke the link earlier, right? You remember? So how do I unbreak it? you would have to click here. You would have to select each one that you broke, and you would need to, oh, wait a minute. Didn't Helena just go into the view mode? You cannot edit anything if you're not not in a view mode. You have to be in a view mode, right? So see this? Now I'm gonna be good to do this. And I'm going to do, well, this is what you could do. You can go add to existing and then change to number 1, right? And the same thing you can do here. You scroll down and you also can do this. You add to existing, right? Oops, add to existing and number 1, of course, yeah. So now we have everything in a one group, right? Everything is connected. If I select something here, well, it's gonna, well, look at this. I'm selecting something here. It's supposed to select something on the bottom. Oh, but first I have to turn this off. See this? I had to turn this off. Okay, now you got this part. You might be wondering why I ask you, I suggested you name that string 1 and string 2. Well, this is what you're gonna do in assignment 4. Pay attention. You created your dashboard, right? Another part of the assignment requires creating a storybook. For assignment 4, I'll show you a shortcut. This is what you'll do. You're gonna click on this arrow here, and you're going to select this, save as a story. Well, we will save as a story because, oh, what we were looking right now, it's a dashboard. The dashboard does not have a timeline. You cannot define the transitions between scenes, right? Well, you just cannot add the animations, etc. So I want to be able to add the animations. Let's just go ahead and let's just select the slideshow for right now. I'm going to do select. And here it's going to name story claims and the weather dashboard. I'm fine with this. Remember that you want to select, well, at least right now, or only at least right now, in my content, everything that you need to save, right, in this folder. And actually, in fact, you don't have permission for any other folders at the moment. So here it is, my content, and you go into do save, and it will open the story. So now I want you to notice the differences and the similarities. What is this? Okay, well, every tab of the dashboard becomes a scene, right, in the story. So this is a scene 1, scene 2, right? First tab, second tab, etc. And you can keep on adding more, right? You can keep on adding more scenes. Well, if you look in here, this storybook is connected to the same data set, is associated with the same data set as the dashboard that we saved as a storybook, right? But still, what you could do is you could create calculations, you could add the navigation paths, but beware that any calculations that you add in here won't be available in the dashboard, right? It will not be available in the dashboard that you saved as this story, okay? So now here, well, if I click here, well, it shows me, well, this is what is on this first, this is the first scene, right? And here, this is a timeline. So what I could do is I could make my objects appear, disappear at a certain point in time, right? I can make things appear, disappear at a certain point of time. So let's see, let's click. Oh, this one is, this will just the edit. Oh, okay, nope. Well, what's happening is that if I wanted to, I can rename this, right? This first scene. If I wanted to, I could rename it, right? I could preview it. So this will preview this first page, okay? This will preview this first page. Oh, okay. Then here I can do that. I can preview all scene. or I can loop through multiple times, right? Here, I can also define a filter. This is similar to what we did for the dashboard. You can apply the filter to a single tab, or you can apply the filter to all tabs, right? And remember when we did the dashboard? Similar here, you can apply the filter to all scenes, or you can apply a filter only to this specific scene, right? And oh, here it is. Now I remember what needs to be done. So look at this. This is our first scene, right? You select it here. I click on this corner here to open up the timeline. Notice this. Each of this, right? Each piece, this piece, it has a corresponding line, right? You see that there is a separate line for each object, right? You see this? I have 4 pieces. I have 4 widgets on my in this scene. Here I have 4 lines, right? So what I could do is I could specify the second, right? I can specify the time when each object becomes visible. To do this, I just take this corner and I drag and drop, right? And by default, each scene is set to 5 seconds, but you can change the time, right? You can change the time if you wanted to. Well, so basically, this is how I specify. I'll let you play it at your leisure, but I'm going to just play it once. I specified it, right? I specified the timing for the first scene, and now what I'll do is I'll just play it. But notice that this guy here does not show. Well, it's because we did not set this to show when the presentation starts, right? So let's play this. I'm gonna click on play. Oh wait, yes, that one is the first one to show. You're right. That's right. Okay, so basically, what I set up, right? The timeline I set up determines when the visualization appears on the screen, right? When it appears and when it disappears. Well, you have to do that, right? You'll need to add a little bit of the animation, I think. But especially assignment 5, it's going to be fun. It's fun, but not at the expense of doing the hard work, so to speak, right? Okay, you're still gonna work hard and have fun, because what you're gonna be doing is that on your last assignment, and I'll get to it, you'll be creating a story as a team. You'll be also presenting it and actually making a video of your presentation. So you'll be submitting a video and a paper for your last assignment, okay? Now, here we go, right? For this assignment only, assignment only, assignment 4, you can create the dashboard and then you can export dashboard as a story, and then you save it. Right here, I save it. Well, similar to just dashboard, story can be in the edit mode and a view mode. Well, see this? You use this pencil to toggle edit and preview. Here, those are our friends undo and redo, but this is what you want to keep in mind, that once you close this file, right? Once you close this file, whatever you made changes to it, you cannot undo them when you reopen the file. just something to keep in mind. Okay, so okay, now looks like it's saved because I don't see a little asterisk anymore next to the name. Now what we're gonna do is I'm going to show you how to create a story from scratch. So we're gonna go back to this here. I'm gonna go back to the home page, and here I'm gonna select a new, and I'm gonna pick the story, right? Okay, this is the story. Well, I have multiple options here, right? If you look at the slide over here, this one I created it a long time ago and I took a screenshot. See, this is one option you can choose from, but there are different layouts. Well, I can pick this one right now, perhaps, and I'm gonna go create. So here I'm just creating a template for right now, and see this, here are all my scenes. Then I can add the visualizations, and they can be added via this guy here, Well, assistant, I can go ahead and add this visualization. Well, to do that, I have to select the scene where I want to edit, right? So this is sort of like it shows you how it just shows you from the top. Let's say it's a view from the top, right? You've got 4 scenes, and this is just a layout type. Here, I selected the 4th slide, right? The 4th slide was probably going to be the heading and the subheading. Then I go to my 2nd slide, and this is where probably I want the visualization. So I'll just go this, and I'll drag and drop, okay? Well, I know that right now it looks a little ugly, but I'm just doing it for the demonstration, right? If I was doing it as I was doing it, as I was working to actually submit the work, I would probably do it, make sure that it fits correctly into this position, right? I would probably play around, okay? But basically what I'm doing now, I'm just showing you what you can do. You add visualization, you can do drag and drop. Here you can do pin visualization. You can just drag and drop the fields to see the distribution, right, etc. You can do different things here. But I was trying to show you what can be done. So that way you'll be able to do it when you're asked to do it. Because last assignment, you'll have to develop the story from scratch. And also it's a good opportunity to collaborate in a team, right? So, well, before I get to the team business, let's see if I covered I covered what I had to about the dashboard. Yes, I explained to you how the tab dashboards work, right? And I showed you how to add some of the widgets here. So here are visualizations, right? So basically, you may also make a copy of existing visualization and not edit it, right? You could drag and drop the fields, or you could use the visualization library assistant, right? And you can also do the pinned visualization. Remember, I showed you, you can pin visualization for the future reuse. And well, here it just shows you how to do it. You need to drag and drop, right? Okay. Well, here I went over this. This is called the focus mode. When you open visualization in a focus mode, you could update the properties, such as in this case, you are setting what does the color represent, right? And in this case, the darkness of the color represents the magnitude of the claim amount, right? Average claim amount. Well, okay. Well, here I just summarized how you can add the text, right? Then you've got toolbars. This one is called the text properties toolbar. That's what it's called, the small one, right? So if you see it in text, that's what it means. If you see it in any of the readings or videos, I showed you how to do this, right? Claim reason, okay? And actually, to be able to do the pie chart, well, there is a way. I would have to, one way is to add a calculated column called row number, running count. I would have to add the running count row number to the data, right? Because, well, the row number field is available in data modular, but it's set as hidden, right? Or it's unavailable in anything that you create from the data modular. Well, okay, now here, basically, here I'm showing you how to create a story. You would just go new story, and so you want to select the transition style. So, and what I did for you, I also outlined the differences between different transition styles. Like, for example, what we looked at before, all scenes are on different canvas. And what we're looking now, all scenes are on the same canvas, right? So, and the similarities that you can make objects appear and disappear, right? You can specify the timing when your objects are visible, when your objects are not visible. And also by default, I believe the scene length is about 5 or 6 seconds. you can change it, right? You can adjust the scene length, and you may have to do that in your last assignment because uh, I'm talking about the part where you're actually doing a video, because you want to make sure as you're discussing something, as you're discussing the scene, you don't want the visual to jump to the another scene, right? So if I'm discussing scene one, I want to make sure that I do that while my presentation, while my slideshow, team one, or in your case, it's not going to be slides. You're going to be playing the story. You're going to be actually playing the story in Cognos Analytics and explaining what it shows, right? Because see, that's a way to capture this aspect of assignment. This is interactive, right? You want to make sure that all your tabs in the dashboard have a descriptive name, because the scene name will be inherited from the dashboard, right? That you saved here. Well, what else you could do? This is a data preview. You can preview the data in here, right? And then here, well, don't worry about this one. Okay. Source selector. Well, that's all right. Don't worry about this, because sometimes once in a while you run into some functionalities, so you decide you want to use some functionalities that have not been turned on. We cannot go ahead and update the make big changes to configuration at the moment, because we would have to retest everything, right? Yes, I had a couple of students who asked me if we could do the SQL. Well, my answer is no, because we did not test that capability yet. Okay, so there we go. And what you'll do is you'll just save it. You would have to do this, and then you would have to put in this. It's your visual, right? I'm not gonna save it now. I'm gonna click on cancel. Okay, now let's go ahead to this thing here. Well, I showed you how to add a new scene, right? Then this one here, this is just basically showing how to change the timeline. You're just showing where things appear, disappear, right? So in here, I'm just showing you how to export the story. I'm showing you how to export the dashboard as a story. You may save dashboard as a story, where every dashboard tab becomes a separate scene, right? So, and here I'm just saying that here my tab name is going to be my scene name when I create my story. So that's the reason why I recommended to use a descriptive name. Of course, you can rename, but when you first open the file, you want to know what's in there, right? Okay, now, okay, I need to show you that there are some samples. You're not going to submit this for the grade, but this is there. It's there for you. So that way, when you're watching the video, if you want to follow along, you can just look at the samples that are discussed in the video. Here again, this is going to be the team content, and it's going to be in a sample. And here, you're going to click on what do you call this? You probably want to check not the explorations, but the dashboard. This time you want to check the dashboard. And here are the sample dashboards that are available for you. You can just click on any of them to preview, right? Oh, did not open. I have to do this, and I have to physically do this open. Okay, there we go. Now it will open this dashboard, right? This one, it was created for me by Cognos, right? Or by a user who installed the samples, right? Or had samples to install. This is coming from the sample, right? This is their dashboard. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what type of things you can do. You're not going to turn this in, but you're going to get an ideas. Oops, what did I do? Okay, no problem. Now, what I want to do is I want to close this, And then to close this, I click here, right? This is a switcher menu. And I opened up the claims and weather, right? No, not claims and weather. I need to close what I opened up. And that may have been this one, Telco Charm. I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna, okay, and I'm gonna close it. Where is it? Oops, Telco Charm. And I'm just gonna click on here to delete this. Let's actually, oh no. Do you see this? Do you see this? I got an error, right? Didn't I get an error? Oh, it let me delete. Okay, hold on. Let me undo. It should not have let me delete. See this? Well, it let me delete, but I won't be able to save the deletion. Take a look at this. This is what's gonna happen right now. Well, oh, I closed it. I did not delete it, right? I'm like, what did I do? Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. Let's go back here. We're not gonna use the browser back button. You're going to go to recent and I'm gonna open the dashboard, right? Okay, so now if I want to delete something, I won't be able to. Number one, it's because I'm not on the edit mode. Number two, because I don't have permissions to override the samples, right? I have read-only permission. So now let's do this. Let's go ahead and close this, exit this. Okay, okay, now, so here, let me go back. I want to make sure that I cover this part before I start jumping into the, okay, now it's going to be everybody's favorite part, assignment 5 group work, and also data modules. I'll have to show you that because, well, the way we've been doing it so far is we use the data set, right? But any calculations that I defined in the data set, well, I cannot explicitly define it in a data set. I have to define it in exploration, right? Or in a story or in a dashboard. And whatever I do is not available in other files that I create, right? So I have to have a way to create it once and to use it wherever I want, right? But first of all, what is going to happen for your assignment 5? You're going to stay tuned towards the end of week, I'm sorry, this should say week 9 actually, right? Not 10, week 9. I'm going to edit this, okay, and save it before I forgot. well, okay, all of you are going to be stay tuned towards the end of next week. This will happen next week. Your instructor and TA will announce the team number you're in, right? They will announce it. I'll take the information. And in Cognos Analytics, I'm going to create a designated folder for your team. So this is where you're going to be saving the work for that project, for that assignment, right? And sharing with your team, all right? Because whatever you save in my content, nobody can see it. Your teammates cannot see it, right? The files must be in the team folder. And everything in terms of the permissions, don't worry. I'm taking care of it. So what you need to care is this, that you see your folder. You want to make sure that you see your folder, and I'll show you where it is. It's in the next slide, I believe. It tells you how to access your folder. Okay, so what you're going to do when your instructor will assign you to the team, right? I'm gonna get the team assignments in Leo, and I'm going to add you to the groups in Cognos, right? The same assignment. So just as an example, let's say I am taking session 9040, and my instructor assigned me to the team 1 in session 9040. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to team content, and I need to be the root of this. This is team content. I'm gonna see this folder called assignment 5 group work, right? So this is a big folder, assignment 5 group work. Okay, I'm gonna click on it. You're supposed to see fall 2019 because this is the current semester, right? Now, this is what you're gonna see. This is a session 9040, right? This is where I'm enrolled. And here, this is my team number, team 1. So if I am enrolled in a session 9040, and if my professor assigned me to team 1, this is the folder that I'm supposed to see. And I should be able to save files into this folder, right? As a team, see this? I saved something earlier. I was trying to test, right? I was trying to test if it works as expected, right? The permissions. So this is what you are going to do. All of you supposed to have access to the folder, right? Based on the team assignment. You're going to get started. You want to go to this one, data 16 assignments. You want to go to your assignment 5 folder. Well, you've got five options, right? You have 5 choices for the data. Now you want to select 1 out of 5 as a team. And the course content, you'll find the links to the sites with descriptions for each of these, right? You choose one that you want to work on. And then you have to, almost same, but slightly different. This time, you're gonna take this and you're gonna do move and copy. Well, copy and move, you're gonna do this first. But instead of copying it to, well, before you copied it to my content, this time you're gonna do team content, but you need to make sure that you are copying it only to your team folder, right? Basically, anything you save or copy to or move to is either your personal area, right? Your team, my content, right? Or only the folder for your group, right? Only the folder for your group. And I see this assignment 5 group work, and I have to click on fall 2019, right? And then this is my team. Now there we go. See this? This button is no longer grayed out, and I'm gonna click on copy to. I won't be able to move it, but I will be able to copy it, right? Because basically what move does, it's gonna delete the file from original location. We don't want that, right? So, well, what I had to do is, and I already took care of that part. It took me a lot of testing to set this up, right? To set up this for team 1, right? So what you just saw, I pretended that I'm taking data 16 in the fall, and I'm taking in session 9040, and I was assigned to the group 1, okay? And currently we have a team of 3 in there, me, instructor, and TA, okay? The team of 3 right now have access to this. Okay, now, how do I access the files that I just copied? Look, I go to the team content, right? And then see this an assignment 5 group work. And then I'm gonna go to fall here, and this is a file, okay? Now what I'm going to do, well, you have to do it for this assignment. It has to be done. You have to create a data modular. It's because you're gonna do some data pre-processing, so to speak, right? You're gonna add variables. You're gonna do the navigation paths, etc., right? But you want to make sure that everyone on the team is creating visualizations from the same copy of the data, right? You want everybody to work from the same pre-processed copy of the data, right? So in this specific scenario, in this specific situation, you might consider creating a data module, because when I later on, if I add another variable, if I keep on adding calculations, right, to the data modular, that calculation will be available in other explorations, other dashboards, other stories where I used the data modular as a source. See what I'm saying? So there's a lot of work reusing here. So, well, this is what you're gonna do when you're in your assignment. You're gonna do this. You're gonna click here, and you're gonna do create data modular. Right? You're gonna do create data modular. Well, I should not be using this data, but well, I'm just to quickly show you how to do this. and you're gonna do this. You're gonna do save as, right? You're gonna do save as. And then you want to make sure that you're saving it in the right location. Here it is. I want to select team content, right? Team content. I want to select assignment, 5 group work. I want to select this. This is my folder, right? Now, save is no longer grayed out. And I want to do this. Use news data module, right? There we go. And I'm going to do save. Okay. Right, and you can add the visualization. You can add calculations in here too. But you see this? Well, you've got the row ID here, right? And it's hidden. It does not. It when you if you use it as a source, you don't see it in the exploration or in a dashboard, right? You don't see this in the list of fields. Well, to preview data, this is what you'll need to do. Is you need to click on this. This is the name of data set that was used to build the data module, and you can preview your data here, okay? And you want to make sure you have grid selected. Now this is a data module. If I want to create visualization, I can just use this. Whenever I define the calculation, it will be available automatically in a dashboard that I create from this, okay? Now let me do this. Let me close this out. For right now, right? And this is a good permission test. If you are a TA for session 9040 perhaps, right? Or if instructor for session 9040, you could go now to the team content and see if what I just saved, right? You should be able to see it in the team one, right? Well, currently it's a team of 3, me, instructor, and TA, okay? Now, let's do this. I need to make sure that I showed you. There is a lot of important stuff here. And there is also a danger zone. I'll show you that too. Okay, so here is how to access your team folder. Here are the steps to copy the file from assignment 5 datasets into your team folder, right? I put it here for you. Here, I'm doing the comparison, the difference between dataset and the data module. Basically, you cannot customize the dataset directly, right? You cannot add the calculation, you cannot add the navigation path, you cannot just click and then say open to preview it, right? Now, you can create it by uploading data, right? Or you can also create dataset as a partial extract from the data module. You can create it as a partial extract. A data modules, they're customizable, they're reusable, right? Both of them can be used as a data source for the story, dashboard, etc., right? You can move and copy to the team folder. Of course, you can also do it to the data set. So that's both, right? But, well, now I'm going to talk about the danger zone. If you delete the data set, or if you delete the data module that was used to build another visualization, another exploration, or another dashboard, or another story, that's it. That's it. Whatever you built, where you specified that data set or module as a data source, will be damaged. It's going to be damaged permanently. There is no way to restore, and this picture over here, clip art, it's going to be you, right? If you're not careful, this is going to be you on the night when assignment is due, right? So if you delete it, this is an error you're going to get. Well, what I did here for this demonstration, in my personal area, I have, if I go back to my personal area, and I'm not sure how to emphasize it, but somebody, every semester, somebody is always a picture that I just showed you, right? I always remember former student on that slide now. Okay, let's do this. I go my content. Well, do you see this? I have this how prices.csv, and I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna create a new dashboard, perhaps, right? I'm going to select. It doesn't matter. Just anything. I'm gonna do okay. Now, see this? I'm going to just drag and drop, right? So that's the data you used in a earlier assignment. I just dragged and dropped something. And I'm just gonna do, I'm just doing something, okay? Now what I'm going to do is this. I'm gonna save this. Oops. Let's save it as, no, save us. And let's see, let's do it as housing dashboard, right? I did it now, right? Well, wait a minute. I cannot save it. Wait. Okay, so now let me see this. Let me save it in a, I'm going to go ahead and save it into the my content first, right? Oh, I see why. I see what's going on. I have to select my content. That's why it was grayed out. I have to be saving either in my content or in a designated folder for your study group, for your group, right? Okay, so this is a housing dashboard. I'm gonna save it in my content. I'm gonna go save. Now I'm gonna close this file. Right? I'm going to close this. Now, all guys, please remember how it looks like. Let's do this. Let's take a screenshot of how this looks like, right? Remember it because you won't see it again. Do you see how this looks like? Anybody has a good visual memory here? Now I'm going to close this out. And I'm going to be a troublemaker. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to my content. And I'm going to show you there are actually several danger zones that I'm going to show you here. Well, danger zone number one is this. I'm going to go to this housing data. Where is it? Housing prices data, and I'm going to delete this. Okay, when I'm deleted, I get this warning. I'm just going to say go ahead. Now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to try to open the housing dashboard. And I want you to see what's going to happen. See this? Why did I get this error message? Well, the reason is my house prices no longer exist, right? It cannot find the data that I used to build this. Well, also I could go back to the team folders and copy the data into my personal area again, but the problem is this dashboard cannot be fixed because what's going on behind the scene is that every file in your content or in the team content area has a unique identifier associated with it, right? So each file has a unique identifier, and every explorations, right? Exploration, you got the display, right, of dashboard and story is associated with that specific number, right? It's tracking some internal ID, which becomes invalid the minute when this is deleted, right? I'm repeating this many times because somebody always does this, right? It gets always somebody. So now let's close this housing dashboard, and I'm going to show you another thing that's going on. See, this is my content. I'm going to go and delete housing dashboard right now. I deleted it. Pay attention. When I deleted something from my content, it does not necessarily delete it from here. Well, it deleted it right now, right? Well, sometimes once in a while, when you delete something, right? It does not always delete. It does not always delete it from the reasons, right? If it happens, you're gonna get an error, all right? You're gonna get an error. Sometimes when you delete something from my content, it does not delete it from the recent. Oh, I see what I did. I deleted it from the recent. I should be deleting it from my content just for the purpose of this demonstration, right? Like in, okay, I don't want to delete the stories that I just created, but whenever I delete something, I can delete, I think I can do, okay, so let's not, well, basically when I try to delete something, right? If I delete it from my content, sometimes it does not disappear from my recent. And when this happens, I'm gonna get an error. So I'm gonna get something like a access error, something like that. Oh, here it is. Well, sometimes if I delete the files that I recently opened, and if I delete the file from my content, it might not disappear from recent. And then when I try to reopen it, I get this error. So if you get no access error, when you attempt to reopen the dashboard, right? Well, more likely you deleted it, right? Or, well, maybe your teammate removed it from the team folder, but it's still sitting in your recents. Well, that's how it is, right? What else I forgot to tell you that if you're saving the work in a team folder, also Cognos Analytics allows you to share files. I do not know, right? I do not know if two people can be editing the file at the same time. Well, I think no. But what you want to do is, if you're saving the work in a team folder, you want to make sure that you saved, right? Save your work before you exit and close the file, because here, see this? I still have this open. Like, see here, over here, I have this little asterisk next to the file name because I did not save. When I did not save, it's going to show that little asterisk. It means I have to save it. Okay, this one here, I saved it, but it's still open. Even if I log out, I still have it open. So before you exit, you want to make sure that you save everything and close, right? Because then the results is unpredictable. If your classmates try to edit the same file at the same time, the results are unpredictable, okay? Now, well, if you use a data modular, right, you're going to use a data modular for the group assignment, more likely. You can create the dashboard. You can create dashboard from the data modular too, right? So here is my data modular. I called it product prices. I can click here and I can select create dashboard, right? No problem. Or I can just click on new and I can select dashboard, and then I can just do, well, you specify the layout first and click OK. And then in here, you would have to do select data source, and you select the data module, right? So let me not save this. I don't need to save it. Okay. I hope you guys get this. Oops. Okay. Well, basically, okay, let me explain what's happening, because this is a switcher menu. It lists what I have open, so it jumped to the next opened item. Okay, this is what happened. Let me go back to home page. All right, so I showed you this error, and this also could happen if your teammate removes something from the group folder, right? Team folder. Another thing is that if your teammate does not use the same data set, right, the same copy of the data, it does not matter if he or she used the data set with the same name. It has to be exactly the same file. Then when the file is uploaded to team folder, you will not have access. You will be getting an error. Your teammate probably will not, because he or she can access the personal content, right? But you cannot access other users content folder, right? So if somebody shared the story with you perhaps, but didn't share the data source that was used to build that story, you won't be able to play the story, okay? Well, just keep that in mind, okay? Another thing that you want to check is this. Well, here, this is your username, right? If you go to my preferences, and then, well, I believe, okay, personal and then advanced, and then you want to go to the groups and roles, and you want to make sure that you see the groups that I added you in. See this? It's supposed to say data 610, right? Well, this is this semester, then it's going to be session number, and make sure that this suffix here, _1, right? 1, it matches the group number that you were assigned to, right? But basically, if you're assigned to the team number 5, you don't want to see 1 here, you want to see 5, right? this is what you want to do. And you also want to make sure that you have a right access to the folders, that you can write files, right? Then also make sure if your teammate saves something, you're able to see it and edit it, right? You want to make sure that you have a right permission to the team folder, right? This is a team folder. That in this case, this folder here was designated to me, right? And I can click here. I can look at the folder properties. You're not gonna see anything. Oh, you see the description. So think about it, guys. Will it help if I do you a favor by doing this? When I create this folder, in the description, I'm going to put the group members. So that way you can see it. I think I have an idea. Probably here in the description, I can add group members. And it would also help the TA when an instructor, when they're checking the work, right? Because your TA will be able to see all folders for the sessions that she's teaching, right? So what I could do in the description of the folder, I'm going to put the team members. That will help you probably, right? So here, see this is in advanced properties. Yeah. Oh, see this? You want to make sure that your permission for that folder is right. Well, you won't be able to change it, but you want to make this is what you'll need to do. Okay? And we're going to get more instructions. When you assign to the group, you're going to make sure that you see the folder, and you're going to look at the properties and make sure that you see the folder with the right permission. Correct folder, right? Correct session, correct team, and also you can write in that folder because you'll be able, you should be able to share files with the team, right? Okay? Well, you're gonna get the detailed instructions when you get there, but I'm just giving you heads up of what's coming. Okay, now I could show you more advanced calculations because couple data set options that you have for the next assignment have missing values, right? What is missing value? It means value is not there. So in general, how are missing values handled? If the missing value is in the target variable, the variable that you're going to predict, then Cognos Analytics is just going to ignore. It's just going to ignore those rows where value is missing. Okay. For if it's a predictor, right? What it's gonna do for the categorical, it's gonna treat it as a separate category. Okay. It's gonna treat missing value as a separate category. It's not going to exclude the field from the predictors list, right? It's just going to treat null as a separate category. Same thing for the continuous variable. Well, the methods, a lot of methods are doing the binning. It will put nulls in a separate bin. However, sometimes you want to replace the missing value by the average. So in here, I have a dummy data. Manufacture product and the product price, right? Product price, basically column 3 is the price of product in column 2 produced by manufacturer in column 1, right? That's what it is. And I'll show you there are some operations that you can do with the missing values, right? But in this case, just to make a little bit different, I created a data module, and I'm gonna go, this one is in my content. If it helps, I'm going to make a copy. There is a folder where there is a team folder where I put the data sets that I used for the demo. I'll make this available too. So see this, I have the product prices, and I believe this one is a data module. This is a data set. Data set is going to have .csv, and this is a data module. Let me open it up. So here I can open it directly, right? I can open it directly. Well, here, see this? Well, this is how my initial data, I'll show you what's going on. My initial data had the manufacturer, product, and price, right? It had this one. My initial data had these 3 columns. And row ID, this is a hidden column. You see it in the data module because, well, that's a data module and it's hidden. It does not show in in explorations, not the display, dashboards and the story. Okay. Now, well, I created a bunch of calculations. Right? So this is so here I'm going to, I can check if price available. This is a calculation. So let me do this. I'm going to click here, is price available, and I'm going to do the edit calculation. This is the calculated columns. And see, this is how it's defined. And I defined it this way. If price is null, then no. If price is not null, otherwise, yes. See this? Aha, Yelena lied. Yelena said that we're not going to write any code in this program. Yeah, right. Well, there is a little bit of code. If you want to do something more advanced, go for it. See, this is a calculation. And this is what I did. The reason if then, it's not in the operators, but it's in a structure. So what I had to do, I just had to do drag and drop, okay? Oh, it's in a construct. See this, it's in a construct. What I did was I just drag and drop. You drag and drop this, right? And then you fill it in. This is what I did. But I don't want to do it right now. I have to undo. I'm gonna hit cancel. I'm gonna hit cancel. And now I'm gonna go click on edit calculation again. See, this is a calculation. Edit calculation. Okay. Well, see, this is what I could do here is this. I can preview this one, preview, and it's going to show me what it's doing, right? Now it's going to be no, the price isn't available. Okay, so that's one calculated column. And I'm going to make this available if you want to. Okay, now what I did was this one, I calculated the average product price. So this is regardless of the manufacturer, how much does each product cost on average, right? I'm making this average. Now what I want to do is, if the value of the price is missing, I want to set it to the average price of the product. So see this? This is an average product price. This is a calculation, okay? When I create a new calculation, I can build it on top of another calculation. So see, this is also calculations that I created. Oh no, cancel. Okay, I created this calculation and I can click here and then I can do this. Where is it? I can do edit calculation. Okay. Now what I say this here. If price is null, right? If price is not available, then I want to use this average product price. And average product price is a calculation that we did, right? Otherwise, we want to use price as is, okay? Let me do the preview here, okay? Well, here it is. Take a look at this. So in here, the price is unavailable, right? So estimated price is exactly what is average price for that product. In here, the price is available, right? This is the price is if the price is available, then we just set it to the price. This is here the price 299. It's available, so estimated price is the actual price 299. If the actual price is unavailable, then to estimate the price we take an average, right? We take an average. Well, this is just one way to handle missing values. Okay, there are many ways, but I mean, what I'm showing is just what I'm just showing you that you can add calculations in a data module. You can also add the navigation path, but this is different. Well, if you look at the data sets, right, we had, when we use the data set as a source, right, or when we add the navigation path to the exploration, it shows up on top here, right? This is where the find is. You usually see the navigation path in there. This time, well, you're gonna click on this here and you're gonna select properties. properties, and it's going to do the navigation path. So this is where navigation path is located. Let me delete this one. I'm going to add this again. Okay, so I'll save it. I deleted the navigation path that I created earlier. Okay, so let me close it. Remember, the navigation path capability allows you to drill down in your data. And to create a new navigation path, you have to do this. You click here, you're going to go to properties, right? Navigation path, and you're going to click on add. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I want to do the manufacturer, and then I want to do product, right? So I can drill down. If I look at the average cost, perhaps, I can look at the average cost by manufacturer, and then I can drill down to products within the manufacturer, right? Alternatively, I can do this. I can do the product, right? And then drill down by manufacturer. I can do either way, right? Depends on what I'm trying to do. So let me save this. Now, I saved it, but it does not appear in here, right? It does not appear in here. Well, you can click identify navigation path members. What this will do is it will just underline each column that is used inside the navigation path definition, right? Okay. So this is how you do the navigation path in here. And see the calculations, it just this. You just do this and then do the new calculation, right? Or, well, basically, one way to add calculations is this. You click here, right? And then do the add calculation. Okay, it's not here. Oh, this one will edit the existing calculation. But if you want to add the calculation, you just click here and calculation. See this? I click here and then I select calculation. Then it's going to create a new calculation. This is a calculation editor, and you define it here, right? The editor is the same that you used before. Now, here you would have to click here to see the data. But please do not worry about the relationship. Do not worry about the validation, right? We're not using it in this course. So, I mean, let's focus. I realize that some students want to go beyond, right? However, keep this in mind. First, you have to do what is required. Then you do more, because I've heard that some students, something that they want to do is outside the scope of this class. Like, for example, we're not doing SQL in this class, okay? So let's hold on to SQL, okay? So just yeah. And also, if you try something that is advanced, right, and not required, make sure that you always save a backup, right? So do what is required and save it as a backup, set it aside, and play around with a copy, because you do not want to make an accidental deletion. You don't want to be this guy on the night when assignment is due, okay? Right? So this is important, right? So we talked about this. I'm going to give you access to this file with the formulas, right? And where is it going to be? It's going to be here. Let me go back to home. And it's in the, it will be, not yet, but it will be in the team content, data for assignments. And there is a folder, walkthrough data, and I'm going to put it in here, okay? So that way you can see and you can play around with the module. Okay, so now let's go back. See, it's a lot to cover. And trust me, when I do this presentation in 2 weeks from now for other 2 sessions, it's going to be different. Okay, so here it is. This is about the null, right? So here I'm just showing you, right? This is a preview of what I just showed you. And here, well, this is an income calculation. It's more advanced. What I did here, well, I'm just showing you how to use a case statement. You may create a field here. If you have a variable called income, you may use a case statement to create another variable called income category. That's what I'm showing you. Case statement, right? So apparently Yelena learned how to not tell the truth. Last time I lied. I told you that you're not writing a code, right? Well, yes, we do, but well, it's if you want to do something more advanced, right? So then you would want to do a little bit, right? Case statement, etc. Okay, here are just some use cases. You might want to watch some of these videos. They just presenting how certain companies are using the Cognos dashboards, right? You want to look at that. You also want to look at this educational videos. So basically, I think in one of them, they're using the case statement to create the custom labels. Yes. Well, basically, they're doing something similar to what I just showed you, but different. But these videos, you will find this really helpful. And the documentation. And then you also got the communities. You can watch you can pay attention. Sometimes there are interesting posts in there. Okay, so I talked for about an hour and a half. Now it's your turn. I would like to see questions. And I see I have something in the chat. Let me take a look. How do you copy visuals from an exploration to dashboard? Yes, this is an excellent question. So let's show how to copy videos. I mean, not videos, explorations. Sorry, what am I thinking about? Okay, my content. Okay, this is the exploration. Let's open this. Okay, one way to do it is to add the visualizations to pin. See, like here, I like this one. I'm going to pick here, and I'm gonna do pin it. Pin, come on. See this? Now it added this to the pin, right? I added this visualization to pin. So, oh, why is it doing it? I added it twice by accident. Anyhow, when I did that, I added it to pin, right? Pin is like a, well, it's not quite a bookmark, but it's something similar. I added it here. So then this will be accessible from display, right? That's one way. Then when I go back to my display, where is my display? Claims and weather dashboard, I can, if I want to, just add, but I have to switch to the edit mode first, right? I need to be in the edit mode, or I won't be able to add anything. And then I also have to open up the pins. Am I in the edit mode? Yes. Okay, now let me do this. Let me do. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it is a dashboard. So now when it's done, it's still processing. Ay. Let's hide this. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I wanted to add, I'm not in the edit mode, huh? Here we go. I'm going to add another tab. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, okay, I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna do this. See this? See this? I pinned it. Now I'm gonna do like this. Okay, I did this. So this is one way to do it, okay? Now, another way, let me go back to the claims and here. But the reason it works is that I'm using, wait a minute, I use the same data set, but I did not, I use the same data set, but the thing is, you have to keep in mind that some calculations might be unavailable, because here in the exploration, I defined some calculations that are not available in my dashboard, right? So I have to be really careful when I do this. Another option, look, I go back here to the cart. I'm going to click on my cart. Well, I thought there is a way to, ooh, no, that's not what I want to do. I thought there was a way to copy it. Oh, there we go. Select, I can use the select tool, and I can do this. I can use the select, oh wait, select tool, select the subset of the data. It's not selecting this. I thought there was a way to copy. Oh, hold on. You cannot do it here, but you can do it from the dashboard. You can select and copy from the dashboard. Or wait a minute, let's try to do this. If I do this, I click on a card, right? I'm going to do copy. See this? I clicked on a card and I'm going to copy the card. What did it do? Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to the dashboard. Let's see if it does it. But my recommended way is the pins, of course. Oh, huh? Did it do it? Or it's the old one? Okay, okay, so let's do this. Let's delete this. And let me see. Let me go back to here. This is exploration, right? I need to let me take this. Let me copy this one. I want to copy different. Okay. I want to copy something that looks totally different. So I'm going to do this, and now I'm gonna go back to here. Okay, and I'm gonna do paste. Okay, there we go. Well, it worked. You saw what I just did? I took at the card and I copied the card. Okay. I hope I answered the question. See this again? Explorations. I clicked here to see my cards, and then if you select the card, you see this menu, right? See this ellipsis? You click on this, and you want to select copy. This is what I did. Okay. Copy, and then when I return to my dashboard, I did paste. Okay. Well, that's one way. Another way is pins. So I like to show multiple ways. How did you paste? Yes, I pasted it with Control V. Yes, Ivan. Excellent question. But also, I think there should be something else to paste. I used Control V, but there should be something else. Let me go back, dashboard. Let me see. Well, let me see. Oh yeah, I cannot like this. I did Control V. Yeah, you're right. I did the Control V. I don't see the actual paste in here. Maybe it's there, but I'll have to find it. But I did the Control V. You're right. Jesus, you cannot do this directly. Or let's see here, visualizations. No, it won't let you. Sometimes I thought you can do new visualization paste. No. Well, I do not see copy paste in here. Okay, I do not see this. But what this is, it lets you clear all filters. And this one, you can collapse this area. Here, you can collapse this. Just if you are in a view, well, if you're in the view mode, this does not show. But sometimes you're in the edit mode and you want to collapse this. There is an option to do that. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't see the paste. You're exactly right. For some reason, it's not in there. So I had to do the Control V. Or another way is to use pins, like I did. Yeah, because there is no, yeah. Another thing is that if you do the other way around, right? If you copy this to explorations, you might lose properties. I have not tried it, but well, if you look at it this way here, well, you've got these properties, right? Colors and etc. But this color is not defined for the exploration, so you might be losing some properties there. So something to watch out, right? Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot. So I'll tell you the truth. If I was going to show you every single capability here, we would be up all night long. And not just tonight. It would take weeks to show everything in here because you look at how many functions are in there, right? Then some of your schoolmates attempted to do the SQL. Well, warning, don't do it because it's not enabled, okay? It was not tested. So don't spend time on it. First, do the required part, okay? Because if you spend time on something that's not, if you spend a lot of time on something that's way beyond the scope of this class, you might get stuck and don't finish the minimum. See, so you have to go both. You have to go beyond the minimum, but you still have to finish the minimum at that time. I mean, as a student, this is what I did. I usually first, I started and I made sure that I meet the requirement, right? I printed out the assignment instruction, and as I met something, I put a check mark. I went through it, right? After that, I saved the backup copy, right? So that way, if I run out of time, I can turn in and I have a backup plan. I have a B work as a backup. Then I was just playing with more advanced stuff beyond the scope. So if I mess up something, I have a backup copy to go back to. See what I'm saying? And why am I telling you that? Because uh, every time we have someone who deletes something, and sometimes it happens almost before the work is due. So I want you to watch out. There is no recycle bin, and you're gonna be upset like that guy on that clip art, right? So watch out, okay? You want to make a backup copy before you delete something, right? So you don't want to get stuck on something, then delete it, and then you lose all your work. It happened. Trust me, it happened. It also happened on the group project in the past with Watson Analytics. So you want to make sure, and even if you saved something in a team folder, you still want to save a copy in your personal folder, just in case, okay? Yeah, questions? Well, I know this session is longer than the last one, but now you all had exposure to applications, so I expected you to ask questions. Is there anything in the chat, Steve? Steve?
No, I don't see anything else. I think you've been very comprehensive. So again, let me remind people, we'll send you the link and the slides or post it in your classroom. Your faculty will have it. So I think you're off to a good start. These are some really interesting capabilities, and they're beyond what we were having available to us in Watson Analytics. So it's really impressive software.
Yes.
And again, fiddle with a little bit with the calculations as Yelena was showing you, because I think that's really going to be an interesting aspect that allows you to do some interesting things. Okay, let me go ahead and stop the recording.
Yeah.
So that gets